Rick Hendrick just handed the most famous number in modern NASCAR to a driver who sits 34th in the Cup Series standings and leads the entire field in races he has failed to finish. On Monday, Hendrick Motorsports announced that Connor Zilisch has signed a multi-year agreement to drive the number 48 Ally Chevrolet beginning in 2028, taking over from Alex Bowman when Bowman steps away from full-time competition at the end of 2027. The 20-year-old is in the middle of one of the roughest rookie seasons in recent memory, and the 15-time Cup Series champions did not hesitate for a second. The reaction from Zilisch says everything about what this seat means. This is one of those moments you dream about as a kid. Hendrick Motorsports has always represented the standard in our sport, and being entrusted to help continue that legacy means everything to me. The chance to drive a Chevrolet for Mr. Hendrick, carry the colors of an incredible partner like Ally, and compete alongside some of the best drivers and people in racing is what you work so hard for. I'm grateful for the confidence they've shown in me, and it's my job to prove they made the right decision. That last line matters, because right now the numbers are brutal. Through 24 races in 2026, Zilisch has recorded exactly one top 10 finish, a 7th place run at Sonoma in June. His only other result inside the top 15 was an 11th at Iowa earlier this month. He has 8 races where he did not finish, the highest total in the Cup Series, which means he has failed to see the checkered flag in a third of the points races this season. He sits second to last among full-time drivers in the championship standings. There was a stretch through late May and early June where he finished 39th at Charlotte, 38th at Nashville after a brake failure put him into the wall, and 40th at Michigan, 3 straight last-place finishes in a row. At Michigan, he was eliminated inside the opening 10 laps after 2 separate spins. Rick Hendrick looked at all of that and signed him anyway. Connor is a truly gifted young racer. His talent behind the wheel is exceptional, but I'm even more impressed by the person he is. When someone with that kind of ability and character becomes available, you do everything you can to bring them into your organization. We have tremendous confidence in Connor, and we believe he's the right driver to build on the legacy of the number 48 Ally team for many years to come. To understand why, you have to look at what Zilisch did before he got to the Cup Series. He started racing karts at 5 years old and won the FIA Karting Academy Trophy in 2020, becoming the first American ever to do it. In 2024, before he had even turned 18, he took class victories in both the Rolex 24 at Daytona and the 12 Hours of Sebring on his first attempt at each. Less than 2 months after his 18th birthday, he won his NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series debut at Watkins Glen from the pole, leading 45 of the 90 laps. Then came 2025 with JR Motorsports, and that season is the entire reason this contract exists. 10 wins, 8 pole positions, 18 consecutive top 5 finishes, the longest streak in the history of the series, and the regular season championship, which he became the first driver ever to win while missing a race. Across 45 starts in that series, he now has 13 wins and 10 poles, the most recent of them at Watkins Glen, again this past May. So Hendrick is not buying the rookie season, Hendrick is buying the ceiling. It also helps to be honest about what a Cup Series rookie year actually looks like in this era. The next-gen car has punished newcomers since the day it arrived, because the setup window is narrow, the field is compressed, and there is almost no room to learn in traffic without collecting damage. Every wreck Zilisch has taken this year has cost him something more valuable than a finishing position. It has cost him laps, and laps are the only currency that turns raw talent into a competitive Cup driver. He is losing development time at exactly the moment he needs it most. The timing of the announcement was almost too neat to be a coincidence. Bowman confirmed in late July that he had signed a 1-year extension and would retire from full-time racing after 2027. Zilisch's development contract with Trackhouse Racing, signed by Justin Marks back in January of 2024, when Zilisch was just 17, expires at exactly the same moment. Everyone in the garage did the math immediately, and the only real question was whether Hendrick would promote from within instead. That question centers on Corey Day, who drives the number 17 for Hendrick in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series and has already collected his first 2 wins in the series this year. Before Monday, the number 48 was the obvious landing spot for Day if he developed on schedule. That door is now closed. William Byron, Kyle Larson, and Chase Elliott are all locked into long-term deals. So with Zilisch added to that group, Hendrick has 4 drivers in or approaching their prime, and no 5th seat to offer. Day may still have a future inside the organization, but it is no longer the future everyone assumed, and rival teams will have noticed exactly the same thing. For Trackhouse Racing, this is the outcome Mark spent 2 years trying to avoid, and it lands in the middle of a season that has already gone badly. Shane Van Gisbergen is clinging to the 16th and final playoff position with 2 races left before the reset, and Ross Chastain is on the outside of the cut line looking in. Losing the driver you signed as the foundation of the next decade is not the news that organization needed. It's a bittersweet moment for Trackhouse, but I am truly happy for Connor to get an opportunity that many drivers only dream of. While our goal was always to have him in our cars for the long term, I'm still excited for the opportunity we have with him now and in 2027. At Trackhouse, our mandate remains to work hard, accomplish big things with Connor while we have him, and position this 88 Chevy team to move into the 2028 NASCAR Cup season, ready for a new, inspiring, and talented driver that will author the next chapter in this amazing book we are writing. But not yet. Back in late July, before the deal was official, Marks was already framing the problem in a way that reads very differently now. I think that it's on Trackhouse to continue to work really hard to try to give him good race cars. It's on him to continue to do the work, to be prepared, and to show up and be the best race car driver that he can be. I think 2027 can be a really big year for him and for us. The car Zilisch inherits carries an enormous amount of history. The number 48 won 7 Cup Series championships with Jimmy Johnson before Bowman took it over. And 2028 will be Ali Financial's 10th season as the full-season primary sponsor of the team. There is also a pattern here worth noticing. Johnson and Jeff Gordon each drove for Hendrick Motorsports for at least 19 seasons, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. spent 10 years there. When that organization commits to a driver, it commits for a very long time. This is not a one-year audition, and the language in the announcement makes that clear. Zilisch, a North Carolina native, still has the rest of 2026 and the entire 2027 season with Trackhouse before any of it begins. That is roughly 50 more races to turn a rookie campaign defined by wrecked race cars into something that looks like preparation. Hendrick has bet that he will. Now Zilisch has 18 months to prove it, and the first real checkpoint arrives with the 2027 season opener, when the excuses about being a rookie no longer apply. What do you think? Did Hendrick move too early on a driver having this kind of season, or is this exactly the kind of decision that separates the top teams from everyone else? And where does Corey Day go from here? Drop your predictions in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button and subscribe for more NASCAR news. I'll catch you in the next one.